Hello, my lovely and beautiful friends. I am Jacob. I'd like to talk about where we, the ground crew, are at in these final weeks of 2012. Life is becoming quite beautiful again on the surface of Gaia. I'm really looking forward to being rewarded with some more tangible tasks, to assisting humanity rather than simply having a mission of resonating love in defense of a fading world. And all our work in raising the vibrational frequencies here on Gaia through the collective consciousness of humanity is bringing back all that is to the world and all that we are as individual expressions of Prime Creator. I am so happy and excited. Very soon now we'll be interacting with our star families in person and on the physical 3D world as well. If you're not remembering all your dreams and your interactions with your star family, don't worry, as you will be very soon. It is only the worrying, the depressions, and the boredom that delays the whole project. The old belief systems must change in that whatever we create, whether individually or collectively, certainly does indeed resonate eternally in the inner planes. And it is part of our mission to bring that belief system into our 3D physical awareness in order to transmute our duality through the process of ascension. It all starts with the free will to change your reality. When you are feeling stagnant or depressed, understand that there is nothing outside of you that holds you back but your own self. That is among the last and most difficult bits of programming that remains for many to clear. All that must be cleared is the very perception of reality itself. We are each responsible for what we say, for what we think, and for what we do. Essentially for whatever vibratory frequencies we offer to the world, and to the collective consciousness as a whole. But we are not responsible for what others do with the information they receive. And that is how humanity has been tricked. The Cabal simply do not care about this responsibility to creation. And now so many have been convinced that they do not have any power to be happy without some sort of outside fulfillment. Whether it be more money, a new car, bigger house, better this, or whatever that next thing so many get caught up in the play or show of things, only to fall back into that same disappointment after they've got it. And so cycles that wanting for the next thing they set their sights on, convinced it will solve their depression, their stagnation, or unfulfillment. My fellow lightworkers, the choice to be happy is yours and yours alone. And nobody and nothing else has any power over your own mastery, even though it seems so many can and do certainly try. You must detach from those falsehoods and the belief system that something is needed outside of you to solve this lacking within. Now, did you hear the words I just said? Lacking within. Does that not suggest that the answer is within you, and not in some 3D physical solution outside of you, or in some medication, or some item or thing, nor is it found in any relationship or in another person? All that is found through the heart, and this is absolutely true for every living thing. If you truly want to be whole, to be complete and fulfilled, then can you see that the solution is within your own being? Look within your heart. Then you will soon realize that you are already connected to all that is, including every other person. Then you will realize that the entire show of things outside of you is irrelevant to your happiness. You will realize just how interconnected we truly are, never further than a thought away, whether in the next room, the next planet, or even across the cosmos. we are all interconnected through the love of Creator. If you want to connect to all that is, you must begin looking beyond this physical illusory dimension and begin exploring the multidimensional nature that truly makes us whole, both as individuals as well as a collective consciousness. And it is through the heart that this doorway to all that you are is waiting to be opened. With a flick of the switch, we can reset that programming that tells us we are separate from one another, or that reality is only based on what you can see and touch and smell, etc. Now, are you beginning to see while all the forces outside of you are irrelevant to your own personal experience in duality, that you have all the power and bear all the responsibility for which thoughts and which emotions you choose to experience? It is time to change those old belief systems and to be happy. My dear friends, it is our responsibility to ourselves, to Gaia, and to all of humanity alike. It is each our own power to shine with all the power of heaven within our hearts, and infinitely so upon the entire cosmos. True bravery is transmuting our fears to faith, but we must first face our fears and fully accept them. Most understand that fear stems from all that is unknown or misunderstood to us, and it is when we surrender our fears to faith that all these unknowns, concerns, and doubts, and all that we do not understand simply falls away. Faith is not something that can be given to you, or will ever be provided to you as proof. It is, however, and always will be rewarded, and so far beyond your wildest imagination. Do not ask Creator for proof, my friends, and instead be that proof. Just as with happiness, faith is as simple as a choice, but much more than simply choosing to be happy. Happiness is the absolute loving acceptance of all that is in the now moment. A step beyond happiness, faith is surrendering to the knowing that your happiness will indeed continue beyond that now moment, allowing us to truly become all that we are, from God to our atoms, to everything in between. By this I mean from the Creator to the light of our souls, through our multidimensional nature, to our more subtle bodies, to the very atoms that manifest our entire illusory experience. This is all that we are, and all that is. Have faith in this, my lovely and beautiful friends, and together we will be the change. This is how we win. This is the path to the awareness of all that we are in unity, together as one. We are the co-creators manifesting the new Earth Sun, our ascending little blue star. This is how miracles happen. This is what real magic comes from. And let it be known within and throughout that the love and light that creates magic is all-pervading, ever-abundant, and limited only by your own deliberate intent and divine willpower. Let us let go of those limitations we set on our hearts. Limitations that must be overcome by each and every one of us, as these cosmic energies flow within us and change our very DNA. We can become overwhelmed by these higher frequencies of love flowing through us, that we often choose to back down to a lower frequency of comfort, simply because it is so far out of our normal spectrum of awareness or vibrational resonance. Take, for example, how even deep in the physical plane, where there are so many people struggling to share even a simple hug or express a loving compliment among friends and family. The inner planes have more and more purity the higher you go, so the difference between 3D and 5D is a grand and blissful awakening. On one hand, you experience this bliss and want it to continue eternally thereafter. But on the other hand, it can be very difficult to let go of those comforts we hold on to within the duality we are so accustomed to. But we already are eternal. So what it truly comes down to is the very concept and belief in that cycle of death that we are so attracted to. Isn't that quite the bit of irony? Understandably, the very definition of fear is that of the unknown. But when all that you discover, the higher you raise your vibrations, is an exponentially ever greater overwhelming source of love and abundance, what could there possibly be to fear beyond the change itself? We are writing humanity's final fairy tale, my friends and fellow lightworkers. I'd like to stress one more time that we have infinite power as creator beings, and so of course we bear all the responsibility to choose which thoughts and which emotions we experience, as they directly affect all that is as expansive as the entire cosmos. With ourselves and Gaia rising in dimensional brilliance more every day, it is important to understand just how quickly and vastly our individual thoughts manifest into the collective awareness. In these final weeks towards the end of the year, it is more important than ever for each of us to contribute the very best of us from one moment to the next, and in any given situation. Happily ever after begins with the realization that happiness is already here within us, and it is within each and every one of us as lightworkers, ground crew, and angels incarnate, to summon up all the willpower that was entrusted in each one of us at this time, and to hold strong, steady, and true as we sprint towards this finish line with the purity and unconditional loving acceptance of all that is. You see, my lovely and beautiful friends, nothing manifests beyond stagnation when your greatest intent is only set on waiting. Let it be our optimism, our enthusiasm, and our excitement towards what is coming that manifests our greatest desires and aspirations. Let us manifest our little blue star. In love and gratitude of all that you are and all that we do together.